plan. Spins a yarn, recants a tale. The esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common man, charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello? Enjoy the season. Okay, calm down.
Quack, quack.
Genius, idiot, moron, imbecile. What a Morris.
I'm sick of it, man. I really am.
We're happy for
Wearing women's underwear part of your turn-on?
Yeah, baby.
Do you believe in miracles? Yes, I do.
Timberwolves superfan KFAN Stan Barrero.
How do you like me now?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing what a sophisticated offensive game plan looks like. You talk about... What do you think of my defense now?
I'm unlimited. Mr. Unlimited.
Mark, they can't pitch. They can't hit. What is with... I mean, come on.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the North. This is the common man, Dan Cole.
I'm also the overwhelmed common man, Dan Cole. You know, there are other shows on this radio station that call this time of the year between the big game and then training camp, the sports abyss. Are you serious? Do you know how much is going on out there? Tiger Woods doesn't do enough to lift his TGL team to the championship. Twins start their season next year. I think I'm done with this Wild Club. The Wolves have a critical game tonight against the Houston Rockets. It could speak volumes to where they end up being seated for the NBA playoffs. We've got March Madness, both men's and women's, in the boys' state high school basketball tournament. With all of those different subject matters, topics, and issues to get to, I don't know where to begin. So let's go with the old standby, the Wheel of Topics.
Wheel of Topics.
Commons golf game.
Well, it's not much of a game right now.
What did you shoot today?
I think it was 85.
Where'd we play?
Loggers Trail.
Where'd you hit it on one?
Right at the gut.
How far from the green was it?
Well, I had an 8-iron in my hand.
Second shot?
I probably should have hit a 7 because, I don't know if you know this, Tenby, but golf balls are designed to be played in 80-degree weather. Every 10 degrees below 80 it is, you lose about 2 yards a club. And for some reason, and I've known that forever, and I really didn't take that into consideration. Had I hit one extra iron, you know, when you get to be 65, take an extra club. Well, if you think it's a 5 iron, or if you think it's a 6 iron, hit your 5. But then I hit just this marvelous soft wedge. It was just so beautiful.
Then what?
Made par, and I was on pace to shoot 72, and then it was just a mixed bag, and most of it was just junk. I mean, I had my moments. I hit a couple of really nice shots, but maybe I jinxed myself with this. I'm better than 50% of the. I can putt better than 50% of the guys on tour. And then I took it another step. Right, I doubled down on it. Like Charch did with. Not only is Brady not the best quarterback in the NFL, he's not even the best on his team. Because then I have to say, you're right. I'm not better than 50% of the. I don't putt better than 50% of the players in tour. I putt better than 60%. I double down. I just couldn't get a feel for it today, and the course was spotless. For those that haven't had a chance to go out and play it, I've played 2 courses now in town. I've played Oak Marsh and Loggers. They're both in. I think all the golf courses came through the winter really well, because we had one of those winters where we didn't get snowfall, then a thaw, and then it freezes and snow on top of it, and you have ice, and all of a sudden it just you get snow mold and it damages the courses. It literally was like it was midsummer, other than it wasn't deep green and rough and all that, because I still think there's some dormancy in the grass. It's not quite. Maybe it is starting to grow now, but it's doing it very slowly. But I just couldn't. It's my fault. I couldn't get the. There's no excuses. I just did not. I did get one really bad break. I thought I hit a perfect shot on the tee ball on the par 3/6. I'm hitting a little cut now. Tenneby, I used to believe that the straightest distance between 2 points. No, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. So I always felt like I have to hit the ball perfectly straight. And now I've just decided Nicklaus won 18 majors playing a fade, right? So I'm playing a fade. Now, I'm not comparing myself to Jack, but my shot shape is just like Nicklaus's. Exactly. And I'm not fighting it anymore. I don't care. How about you? What's your shot shape like? Do you
What's
draw?
Stronger than a fade?
Slice. That's your shot shape? Though
I've always been, I've been a fade. I'm right now trying to get away from the fade.
Yeah.
But we'll see how long that lasts.
Well, the draw.
The fade's okay as long as you can do it every time.
Well, that's it.
Yeah,
well,
as long as you're consistent.
And we'll be consistent, and it goes hand in hand when we run these games off and get into the playoffs. But so I've got the new G440K driver, good for me, from Ping. I'm in the Ping playing staff. Me, Bubba, Oberg, Hovland, we're all on the Ping player staff. Ping staff player. Ping guy probably doesn't want me to say that too loudly, but I love the driver. But now I've got my swing right now where I'm hitting a draw, and I love it. But sometimes I hit that sweeping ball of death. I bet you've never hit because you don't hit it left ever, do you? Do you ever hit that sweeping ball of death where it's just a huge hook?
Yeah.
And who was it? Was it Lee Trevino? Somebody said you can talk to a fade, but you can't talk to a hook. A hook is not going to listen to you, man. And I hit a couple of hooks today, and it's just like, what are you doing? Though I did hit one on 11 where the barn foundation is, and it was even more than a hook. I mean, it was a hard hook, but it was perfect. It was like a catapult around that foundation. I just come off a brilliant par, soft little wedge from up on top of it. One of the mounds. I was a little long and left. It was a back middle pin, and I hit this nice little delicate pitching wedge, sand wedge. It was just gorgeous. But then I hit that hook around, and I'm thinking, let's go, right? It's starting to come together for me. And then I ended up making a bogey. So, but it's early. It's only my 4th round of the year. Opener coming up at Grandview. I'll be there. Some members of the sales staff are coming up this year. It'll be a lot of fun. And of course, there's the potential that Meat Sauce might even show up too. By the way,
oh boy,
we have this new slogan here at iHeart. Have you heard it, Tenneby? Where it's called Guaranteed Human.
Yeah.
But now here locally, we're going to put an asterisk on. There's going to be an asterisk, and then in parentheses below it say, except for Meat Sauce. We're not sure because I don't know if he is human. I think he might. I mean, I think he just recently started to walk upright and eat with a fork. And that's just a recent.
I mean, technically, is Neanderthal a human?
I
think so.
I think lucky. So we're guaranteed human except for meat sauce. So if you hear meat sauce talk and you go, well, that sounds more animalistic or annihilistic, that's definitely what it is. There are, someone just said, the draw is so 1990s, all the cool kids hit a fade. Well, you know what I heard a long time ago? To play on tour, you have to be able to hit a fade. Because with the firmness of the greens, if you try to draw everything into the green, you know how a draw will hit and release. So there are certain pin placements. If you can't hit a fade, well, then you're going over the green and making bogey. Sorry. So you got to be able to hit. You got to on tour. You have to hit every shot. So Tiger, he didn't win last night, right?
He did not.
I was tempted because I thought about it, and I thought, but I fought the temptation. How was he?
I actually watched a decent amount of it.
How did he play?
I mean, they're playing 3 on a team, and some of his shots are just, they're going one by one by one.
Okay.
He had a really bad missed putt that kind of started the tailspin for his team. So once they get to the finals, it's a best of 3. They lost the night before. Tiger wasn't playing.
Right. It was.
And Kevin
the guy
Kisner
that
blew it on the last hole.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got nominated. I was inundated with emails at comment@KFAN.com nominating you for preposterous hit when you said you could beat Kevin.
Well, I mean, if they would have watched Kevin Kisner on TGL the night before, I don't think they would be sending in the email or the text.
Do they just hit pitches and chips and putts? Then they don't hit.
They hit every shot.
Driver.
Yeah, so they're hitting their driver into the simulator big screen.
Oh, yeah. Well, then, yeah. Okay, I love simulators. They're great, but that's not really playing golf then. Yeah.
Well, no, they're not. I don't think they're trying to.
All right, anyway.
But they're hitting all their shots.
Okay.
But they play as a team, and they're playing match play, and each of them goes one by one by one. Tiger's team was up 2-0 early in game 2 last night, and they had one moment where it was tied 2-2, and then Tiger missed. It had to have been a 2-3 foot putt that lost the hole for them, and then gave LA the lead. And then basically, LA just steamrolled them. They finished with 3 straight eagles on the last 3 holes. And there were hammers involved, which means there's more points. So they got to the point where they were down 7 with like 5 holes to go, and it was mathematically impossible to come back.
When they threw the hammer down, did anybody say hammer time? Because that's what I would.
They should. The DJ should be playing that song every time.
We talked about it yesterday. I would just do it if I was one of the players. I would go hammer time. So, we got one
but
topic.
Other than that, Tiger, he was okay. But like I said, that was a bad miss putt.
We got one topic out of the way. We got plenty more to get to, including Peek at the Purple. That's on the other side of the break. And Tenby, I might be done with your wild club. We'll discuss that in length. Should I save that for when I'm eating lunch so you can ask me, and then I can throw the question back to you, and then I've got 5 minutes to eat? We'll figure it out. We'll get it done one way or the other. Rock Talk 1:15 with Brian Oak, and then Mark Rosen just before 2, right? Cheering the fan.
Fan.
Want to chime in on what's happening with your favorite KFAN program? Make your voice heard on the Bradshaw and Brian text line. Please. Let us know what you have to say by texting your message to 64686. That's 64686. Standard message and data rates apply.
12:13:14 past. I'm Common. This text message came into the Bradshaw and Brian KFAN text line. It reads as follows. Common needs to add another line to his resume. I've worked in the golf turf industry for 20 years. His breakdown of how snow and ice or lack there at times is the best description of that process I've ever heard. Keep up the okay work. I understand golf. I'm the official, unofficial ambassador to Minnesota Golf. A Peek at the Purple brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. Spring is here. Perfect time to plan those backyard upgrades. Let's say you need outdoor lighting. They can do that. At Affordable Electric, they can do patio outlets, hot tub wiring, garage circuits, and if you got an EV, they can do that as well. They can put a charger in for you. Affordable Electric helps homeowners across the Twin Cities get ready for summer. Schedule your project today at affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com, or call or text 612-331-VOLT, 612-331-VOLT. And remember, Affordable Electric is shockingly affordable. all I saw tend to be all quiet on the Western Front right now, unless we want to dive into the quarterback situation. But I think we both, made our opinions on where we think the Viking quarterback room has been, where it's at, where it's going. We made that perfectly clear. I did see this Ben Gessling today. This appeared early this morning. Vikings submit bid to play host to the 2028 NFL Draft. Now, let's say, Tennessee, we get the NFL Draft. What would be more life-changing for you? To announce the fourth pick in the National Football League Draft for the the fourth-round pick for the Vikings, or to play golf with the Common Man? You'd rather play golf than announce the pick, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, there's no question about it.
But it is the 3 greatest days in sports could be coming here.
That's true. The 3 greatest days. So Lester Bagley, I call him Bags because we're tight. We text and talk more than most people know. He's the executive vice president of public affairs. Pretty good gig if you can get it. Said the team's been trying to bring the draft to the Twin Cities since 2019. The 2028 bid would feature U.S. Bank Stadium as the anchor of the draft weekend in downtown Minneapolis. The draft proposal would feature events in both cities, as well as the Mall of America. I think they mean Eagan when they say. I think they're talking Eagan when they say both cities, right? They wouldn't be talking about St. Paul.
I assumed it was St. Paul.
Oh, really? Oh, maybe it is. Oh, I would have thought it was. Because I would think they'll do stuff out at TCO because it's such a wonderful monument.
I think they included that as well.
Oh, okay.
And then
of course,
Mall of America and Eagan would also be part of it.
Yeah, it is. You're right. Minneapolis St. Paul is one of several NFL markets bidding for the draft, which could bring hundreds of thousands of visitors to the area during the 3-day event in late April. People actually travel for that, don't they? Could you see yourself, again, teach his own, could you ever see yourself like loading the family up and move to Beverly, and in the case you can't go to Beverly, you would drive to like Indianapolis to watch the National Football League draft?
Let's just take this a step further.
Okay.
If the draft comes here in the Twin Cities, would I even just go to that?
Yeah,
and it's in our home market.
Yeah.
I'd have to think about it strongly. I'm not like all in, I got to be there. Because really it's also, what's different than watching on television than you're just watching someone come up to a microphone and announce some picks, and maybe someone walks out and put his hat on his head. Like, is it that exciting? You want to get bored after a while? Yeah, well, and then probably I have to pay for really expensive beer when you could just buy 6-pack at the liquor store and not have to worry about that. I remember our draft coverage one year. This was so long ago. There was no TCO Performance Center. It was the old Winter Park. You know, that pole building they had. When you do look at that compared to what they have now, compared to what they had, it is night and day. I mean, what they had at Winter Park, I don't even think there's a high school that would use a facility like that anymore, right? And we did the draft party there, and I was I wouldn't say I was asked to participate. I was kind of forced to participate. It was suggested?
It was suggested strongly that I participate. And that was the year we didn't even, it was so long ago. When did we get the rope guy that used to do the wrangle? Anytime he'd sack somebody.
Oh, Jared Allen.
Jared Allen. That was when we traded 2 picks to get Jared Allen.
Like a first and a third?
Like a first and a third to get Jared Allen. So there was there was still a draft, and we still had a draft party, and there was draft coverage, but the Vikings didn't have any picks because they went after Jared Allen. And my job was, they gave me I gave the jersey away to somebody. They gave me a Kevin Williams jersey to wear because I had to rube it up, right? And what was cool about it, you know those sleeves they have that are kind of crinkled down by, where the end of the sleeve is? It's got that little... You know what I mean by it's crinkled, so that it's like there's a rubber band or something in there, so it binds. So I think that was because that's what I think a lot of the players use, so it goes snugly around their shoulder pads, and then the offensive lineman can't grab it. So I had one of those, and I was the person I had the microphone. I was out in the crowd, right? I was the guy that they would go, let's go to Dan Cole, and then I would interview like rubes. So I got Brandon Molesky here. And Brandon, what do you think of the Vikings draft at this point? Well, Common, I really like it. I really like what we're doing, And so I did that. I was never asked back to do it again. That was it. No!
And you were devastated.
I was crushed. Well, there is part of you that wants to be asked back because they think you did a nice job. Right?
Sure.
like I've made this perfectly clear before. I had 5 different jobs on Viking pregame show over the year, and every year they would just eliminate it. So it's obviously they weren't thrilled. The best is still when Swedberg went to Doug Westerman, when, Pops was the program director at the time. He goes, I was in the Vikings fan line. It doesn't sound like Common really was having much fun. It doesn't sound like he enjoys it. He goes, he doesn't. He goes, well, then what are you making him do it for? They pulled me off the show. Brilliant. I didn't have to go to Mall of America at Original Sports Bar anymore and pretend I care about the Vikings game. Take phone calls from drunken idiots. I didn't have to do it anymore. It was just so much. And, that was back when I didn't have former Viking player as a co-host. I was doing it on my own. Oh, gosh, I just couldn't think. And Tennessee, now think about this. If you don't like doing something, maybe you could still get paid and not do the Common Man program. Because I would think if Swedberg was listening, he goes, doesn't sound like Tennessee really enjoys doing that show. And you would say, Apple would say he doesn't. Well, then take him off the show. What if they took you off, but you still got paid? You'd do that.
I'm just doing nothing?
Yeah, just do nothing. I don't know what else it would be.
If they want to take Master Control Supervisor away from me.
Yeah, you would do that?
I'd be up for that.
Yeah. That does probably crimp your style.
I don't mind doing it. I mean, I like being there. I like doing it, but it's tough with the schedule.
Yeah, it's every single Sunday, or regardless of what night they play. Monday night, Tuesday night, Thursday night. You've got to be there for it. So, I guess, and it says could bring hundreds of thousands of visitors. Would there be that many? Hundreds of thousands? Because, we always get that anytime that like when we've had the Final Four here, right? I don't know who comes up with these numbers, but it's always like, we're going to make $1 billion. Now, I know I'm exaggerating there, but it's all this money that's supposed to be coming in. And then you'll always have the negatives that'll go, wait a minute, let's call a timeout here. Let's slow down. And they say, we're not going to make nearly that amount of money. There's no way that kind of money is going to be pumped into the economy. The same thing when they're going to build stadiums. If we build a stadium here and do this, it'll be that much money is going to be pumped into the economy. And then you have the negatives that come out and say, well, no, that's not even close to the truth. So I never know what to believe. I don't know if there would be hundreds of thousands of people showing up for the draft. But, look, if you're one of those people that you paint your face for a game and you wear a jersey and you go to your home teams and you're just into it, do you travel well? Can you make that last? How many? I mean, I know when they show the draft party on TV, they've got some stadium filled there. There's fan bases for every team there,
they're
right?
usually dressed up in costumes.
And they're dressed up in costumes.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if those are really just Hollywood extras. If they just go to Hollywood and say, hey, look, we need to make this look really good. So can you send us a lot, let's just hire out extras. Just like you people there, you're going to be Rams fans. So put on that horns on your head and then paint your face that blue and yellow. Okay, I'll do it. And they pay a minimum wage. I don't believe it's hundreds of thousands of people. I don't believe it.
I like your conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
I've watched NFL games. I've seen the type of people that are in these stands. I truly think they are dressing in costume and showing up and flying from wherever they live.
Maybe they do. We'll break. We'll come back. Peek at the Purple. Brought to you by Affordable Electric. For all of your electrical needs, go to affordable-electric.com. I got to dig deep. I got to see what Tennessee thinks of the Jolly Green Giant about his Wild Club. They're much like that Jayhawk song, A Tailspin. That's what they're in right now. We'll talk about that next. Here on the Common Man program on the Fan.
We got another Wild Wednesday on the Fan, and we're running it back from last week with tickets to Wild versus Canucks on April 2nd. Just use the iHeartRadio app to send us a talk back and tell us who scores first for the Wild tomorrow night against the Panthers. Get the full details at KFAN.com. Keyword contest.
In walking 9 holes of golf while carrying a 25 or 30-pound bag, with arthritis in your feet, and now I have shin splints. Did I talk about this yesterday? I think I did. I walked around Colby Lake in Woodbury with my wife on Saturday afternoon. You should come and go for a walk with me. All right, let's go. And I was wearing some kind of like flat tennis shoes, not real walking kind of tennis shoes. And about halfway, I said, man, shins are getting a little tired. Well, the next day, that was Sunday and Monday, it was awful. I mean, I couldn't even barely put one leg in front of the other. So even with all those tend to be, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm built different. I think you already realize that. Your Wild Club, by the way, I listened to the game on TV. I had my face buried in a Sunday crossword from a couple of weeks ago. I save them up because I never know when I like to always have something to look forward to. Like, do you play any of those word games? Like the Athletic has connections.
Oh, every day.
Do you do it right away, or do you just do it whenever the moment strikes you?
Usually in the morning while I'm eating breakfast.
Yeah. See, I like waiting till the evening. So now, I have something to look forward to tonight. Oh, I've got connections tonight, the Athletic connections. If I do it right away in the morning, well, then I don't have it to look forward to until tonight. I like to have things to look forward to.
Do you have anything else you can look forward to?
Well,
you have a golf round in the morning that gets in the way, so that's what you're focused on. That's
exactly, and I am going to play tomorrow morning, trust me. So I was buried in it. If I only have one Sunday crossword, it's like, what if I do it on Tuesday? And I'd gladly pay you for I'd gladly have a hamburger. I'll pay you for a hamburger on Tuesday when I have it on, however Wimpy used to say that. Anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is, what if I want to do the crossword puzzle on Wednesday or Thursday and it's already done? So I like to stockpile them for a while first. So I've got my nose buried in a crossword puzzle, and Deuce is watching the game. And the first thing he says, he turns, he goes, "Oh, the Wild are playing." You know, he loves hockey now, right? He turns it on and he goes, most dangerous lead in hockey, 2-0. And I said, I don't know why they would score. Why wouldn't they just keep the game scoreless?
Yeah.
As long as they possibly can. And sure enough, they end up losing 6-3. They had a goal taken away for goaltender interference. They had to review one because it hit the camera in the back of the net. It came out so quickly, no one was sure if it went in or not. And then I think they dumped in at least one empty netter.
Two empty netters.
Yeah. And the Wild had a 5-on-3 and couldn't score. And it's like, as much as I love this club, and look, I've been going toe to toe with the basketball community. I have this. I really don't like the way the Wolves approach regular season games. I don't. I hate it. And then I'm saying, well, you don't ever rip the Wild aren't playing hard all the time, and this and that and the other thing. But the Wild continues to win, and they were accomplishing things. They were accomplishing things this year that the franchise really never has. And I even boldly and brashly said, not only will they beat Colorado for the conference title, division title, whatever it is, but I said, why can't we win it all? Do you like parades? I like parades. Why do we have to be, well, I don't know, it's going to be hard to get by Dallas and Colorado. Well, isn't it going to be hard for Colorado and Dallas to get by us? Why can't we turn the tables on them?
I think that's just like the Minnesota sports mentality, like you're trying to protect yourself.
Sure. So
defense mechanism.
So now all of a sudden, and we come out of the break, and didn't we take it to somebody coming out of the break? I thought right out of the break, then we played the Lance.
Well, they played Colorado first game.
And we beat them.
Yeah.
And I started looking at it. What do you think now, Tenneby? I started trying to, tear you down in your opinion. Because you told me, pump the brakes, Common. It's going to be hard to catch them. And I was wrong, and you were right. But I am now beginning to start, it's because I'm really not a member of the hockey community. I'm really not. I'm more of the tiddlywink community. And the pinball community. Those are my favorites. I like pinball, and I like what the other one I just said?
Tiddlywink.
Tiddlywinks. I like tiddlywinks and pickup sticks. Those are the hobbies I like, and golf. But I'm beginning to wonder, Tenneby. I mean, again, is it patience or panic? I mean, what are your thoughts on the club? And what about last night's game?
I have lots.
Tampa Bay is a good club, right?
I have lots. Yeah, Tampa Bay is one of the best teams in the East.
Right.
And the Wild didn't play bad last night, and it's one of those where the score looks worse than the game was because of the two empty netters. And let's face it, the goalie just melted down on one play with under 3 minutes to go. That was a dump in off the end wall, and he just completely bobbled it and just gave Tampa Bay the game. Whereas they were destined to go to overtime, and who knows what happens once they get to overtime. But they, first period, they played great. They were in control. Tampa Bay is a good team. Eriksson Ek and Kaprizov still looked a little off from what we were accustomed to seeing them their first games back from injury. I still think the Wild are kind of trying to find themselves with all the changes they made and all the moves they made, trying to figure out the exact best chemistry and best lineup to run with. But I've said this to you multiple times, and I'll say it again. The Wild are destined to be in the first round against the Dallas Stars. These games aren't that meaningful. And when games aren't that meaningful, you're more likely to, not that they're not playing hard, but you're just at the point with 10 games to go, just make sure you're healthy. The wins and losses really aren't that meaningful at this point.
Well, Tampa Bay seems to be taking the approach that the game is meaningful.
Well, they're still playing for more than, like I said, the Wild are destined to be in their spot in the playoffs, whereas Tampa Bay could still get the top spot in their division. They're 2 points behind Buffalo, and they have a game in hand. So, and they could get caught by the team behind them. Whereas the Wild aren't getting caught, and they're not catching who's above them. So the games just aren't as meaningful. And they're probably at this stage of the season just going to make sure they do what they can to be healthy.
Okay. Well, then I'll have to take your word for it. I still don't like it. And again, can they just flip it? Because that's what, not the entire basketball community, but I get texts and emails and calls and letters from people I don't even know and offers coming over the phone, like the Rhinestone Cowboy that say, oh, don't worry, the Wolves are really good. When they decide they want to play, come playoff time, bring it to the ticket, and okay. Is it easily to just flip the switch on and off? And can the Wild we just want to be healthy and we're going to play hard, but, we're not so concerned about then all of a sudden playoff starts. Can they do it? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But, I had such a, it just seems as though throughout the years, and maybe this isn't every year, that whoever wins the whole thing just seems like it's almost like it's destined. I know it's not destined, but it just seems like sometimes you see teams in the NHL, the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, you just go, well, this team it's just their year. They're that good. And that doesn't guarantee just because you get that feel as the season goes, they can still get upset. But I had the feeling that I don't know why I had it. I guess I just...
And this last 7-game stretch has taken away that feeling from me.
At least some of it, because now I'm like, I guess they are human after all. I was beginning to think that they were superhuman or something. And now I don't know.
And like I said, if a goalie can play a dump in from the far blue line off the boards properly and the Wild go on to win in overtime, you're not having that same feeling.
Yeah.
Off of one little bungle from a goalie.
Well, it wasn't just this game. It's like this team hasn't been playing well for a couple of weeks, it seems like to me. I mean, I know they had the game the other night where they beat Dallas 2-1. So are they pulling a Minnesota Timberwolf here? Because that's what, somebody again, he goes, sounds like Brandon's describing the same thing with the Timberwolves that you so often chastise them about. That's what it sounds. They say that's what
it kind of is, but the point is the Timberwolves spot is still in doubt. They are still playing for things. The Wild don't have a lot to play for right now, so it's a little more acceptable, and it's also a sport where you can put yourself in harm's way and get hurt, and you want to make sure you're healthy for the playoffs.
Yeah,
it's a more physical sport.
Yeah,
it's the same thing like the Green Bay Packers the last week of the year. What'd they do? They rested their starters because the playoffs were more important than that last game against the Minnesota Vikings. Not saying it's still a little bit apples to oranges, but
this one says, we get it. You're a fair weather fan. Now he thinks that's like, I'm going to defend myself. Well, I am.
You fully acknowledge
He's trying to get me to go, oh, I'm not a fair weather fan. Yeah, I embrace it because, and do I need to describe it again? I've done it 13, 14 times. It's like, there are too many other, think of all the things that are going on in life to pay attention to. Your work, your family, your hobbies, more important things than wins and losses in sports, just worldwide events and everything. So yeah, it's like it's like with the, we talked about it yesterday. Suhan wrote the piece. And by the way, can I say this? I think the Twin Cities has the Fish Fry Factory West Side has a terrific lineup of columnists. I love reading. I read everybody. Lavelle, Randball, Chip, Patrick, Suhan. I texted Patrick, and I text and talk more than most people know. I sent him a text and said, what we talked about earlier, I said, I'd like to have things to look forward to. I'm saving your column for tonight before bed for bedtime reading, and he liked that. Because his column was really, really good. He did a Twins one where he said, the unexpected when you don't expect it, or something like that. It was just about, throughout the decades when the Twins, when you thought, he was kind of selling hope, but not really, not in a pull-out pocket protector way, but kind of like, there have been years where you just thought the Twins were going to be a terrible team in a terrible city with terrible fans, a terrible city. And the next thing, like in 1990, they finished with the worst record in all of Major League Baseball, I think, or certainly the American League. And then they went to the World Series in 91 and won the whole kit and caboodle. Can you Google kit and caboodle and see where that came from, where the origin of that? I think it might have came from either Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, or maybe it was Judges. I don't know. I think Moses maybe said the whole kit and caboodle when he parted the Dead Sea, or was that when he read the Red Sea Scrolls? I don't remember. Is there a origin to kit and caboodle, or is that just the name of a dog food brand?
The expression, usually appearing as the whole kit and caboodle, originated in 19th century America well before World War I, according to Castle's Dictionary of Slang. Castle's defines the phrase as the lot, everything there is. It says caboodle is also from the 19th century and means a large mixed-up collection of objects or people. The Slang Dictionary suggests that caboodle may be a combination of the prefix cur, which I've written about before the blog, plus the other boodle, which meant a crowd of collection or of people or things.
And I've been warned about dating my references. Now I'm going back to before the 1900s. You've heard kit and caboodle before, though, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Can you find the origin of yabba dabba doo? I think I already know that one. What were we just talking about? Yeah, there's so many things that's like, so Suhan wrote the piece about, hey, if you're only about championships, don't watch the Twins. But if you like to watch guys develop, go on down to the ballpark, enjoy yourself. It's a great park. And okay, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You can have that opinion, but if you are a person that enjoys a lot of different things in life, watching, what's Keishel's first name again?
Luke.
Watching Luke Keishel get 4 at-bats a game, I mean, I'm not going to dedicate it. If you go to a Twins game, you're dedicating a half a day, right? I'd have to get out of work here, say it's a night game, rush home or go downtown and have dinner somewhere, then get, I don't think there's be many lines, but go park at the stadium, watch the games, go home. It's like to watch him hit, to go 1 for 4 with a single. My time's more valuable to me than that. Now, if Luke is hitting 334 and Larnach starts pounding the ball over the fence, Buxton's having a career year, and 2 of these young newcomers to the Twins rotation look like Spahn and Saint, well then, yeah, okay. Team's playing pretty good. They got some young I'll go, but I don't need to be there on that. And call me bandwagon and Johnny come lately. I'm all right with that. I actually take pride in it. Sorry. But yeah, people like to do that old. There was another story I saved, but this was from months ago. And if I went back in my saved category on my handheld, which doubles as, I could probably find the story. We're saying those of us that are hardcore fans, are through thick and thin, we enjoy it more. No, you don't. I mean, you think you do, and maybe you don't enjoy it any more than I do. If my favorite team is playing well, and if my favorite team wins the whole kit and caboodle, 19th century reference tend to be, pre-19th century. I enjoy it as much as someone that's there for, that sticks with them when they're, 2-15 or 3-14. I look at people that say, really? You're spending money to go to a team that's 3-4? Don't you have something? I mean, knock yourself out, man. I'm not going to beat myself up psychologically like that and watch a terrible team in a terrible city. For instance, Deuce and I love watching games where you see the fan base when their team's losing. What's happening in March Madness?
Oh, yeah.
Teams behind, and they've just got this devastated look on their face. Their heads, and we're just going, look at those people. Look at. Or if they're really excited, the guy screaming at the top of his lungs, the veins are about to burst in his temples, and he's painted up, and he's jerseyed up, and he's going to go, look at these people. What's wrong with them? But if that's what you like doing, great. But yeah, I am a Johnny-come-lately. I truly am.
I'm proud of it.
Yeah, and I'm proud of it. Absolutely. I am a fair weather fan. But anyway, that is neither here nor there. Now you're getting ripped.
Uh-oh.
Tennessee's completely full of baloney. The Packers kept their starters in Week 17 because they were scared of the Vikings. Skull, baby. I like that. Yeah. Here's one. A lot of work for the Packers to play nobody and play not to get hurt and try to coast into the playoffs. Well, I don't think that's the reason. Look, I'm the last guy to defend the Packers, but I don't think they lost their playoff game because their players were rusty.
Everyone in the NFL does that.
Yeah, they all do it. That's the smart thing to do. I mean, what is it about availability as a viability or whatever that old saying that's been credited to Bud Grant, but I think it's been around since Og and Grog and the kit and caboodle days, since back in the yabba dabba doo days. It's just like, yeah, if you're not available, well, then that's not good. We need you on the field. So, yeah, and we all know that by the time you get to week, 13, 14, 16, 17 guys are beat up. We talked about the Decker character for Detroit said, I can't do it anymore. Every week is just me trying to, feel better. So that by the time it's time for opening kickoff at noon on Sunday, I actually feel like I can play a game physically, and so it's like, if you're in the playoffs, yeah, trust me. Who do the Wild have next?
They got Flo Rida tomorrow night. 6:00 start.
Did I say this to you, or did I say it to Blakemore when he was in? Is Florida really the state of hockey? Don't they have more championships than we do?
I think the Panthers have won back-to-back. The Lightning have won a couple.
They're the state of hockey. I'm sorry.
For professional, yeah.
Is it wrong? Is that sacrilege? Should I be forced to leave town?
I wouldn't go with it if I were you.
I dare to be a Daniel, dare to stand alone.
Our youth hockey is the crown jewel of the country.
Is it?
Yeah.
So you're telling me you think Moorhead could beat the best 2A team in Michigan? Massachusetts? Do we know that? Should we have a national tournament to see who really is the state?
That would be great. I'd love to have a national tournament. I'm not going to say that just because I don't know nationally, because we play community hockey here, whereas in other parts of the country, they would be just like loading up an all-star team of players from their region.
Yeah.
But we produce more college Division I and NHL players than any other state.
All right. We're the state of hockey then.
Yeah. There's a big blue line that runs around our state.
Be nice to just get to a Stanley Cup final. I'm not even asking them to win one. Maybe this is the year. I was convinced it was, and I'm not so convinced now. However, if they get to the Stanley Cup finals, just call me Bandwagon Dan. Call me Dandwagon.
I'm more concerned about their opponent in the playoffs than I am about how they're playing right now.
Your teeth chattery?
Sure, Dallas is going to be tough.
We just beat them.
It doesn't mean that it's going to be easy.
Well, easy being easy, but we're all easy. That's for sure.
Let's get the playoffs. They don't play 3-3 overtime. That's how we beat them.
Yeah.
No, we didn't have Kaprizov and Eriksson Ek in that game.
Kaprizov, Eriksson Ek, Hughes.
Let's go.
Play. Let's go or let's play. Top of the hour break. As soon as it comes to its conclusion, we'll do 5-3-4. You got a tease, Dennis?
Yeah, it's time for some Twins bold predictions.